Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, enabling, amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero of psych defender of the fatherland, off to a glorious 1v1 on Bayuex. In the east, it is JibberJabberJobber fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, taking on the role here of the 10th Guards Tank Corps. In the west, it is Ozilligath fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 1st Panzer Division. We got Jaeger Infantry right away here, the Ozilligath with ambush training, Jaeger Light Infantry upgrades, Jaeger Command Squads, Light Artillery Barrages, and the Stuart Close Air Support with machine gun, Panzerfaust, and Pack Bulletins. But curiously, he went for the one that makes him build 10% faster rather than 50% faster. Huh. In these, well, Jibber's got airborne troops, defense, and counter-attack tactics with infantry, penal trooper, and scout car bulletins. We got a Strafnicki start here for JibberJabber with double engineers. And we got the Grenadier MD42 start here for Ozilligath, probably more Grenadiers. Triple that. We shall see what he does for any ambush camouflage, what he actually does with the doctrine. Sandbags here, steadily setting out. Then the South, we got engineers being fought as well. There, Jibber going for more spread approach. And as always, of course, a big thanks to my patron supporters, these champions, these heroes. You too can go on the ranks from pledging on Patreon. You all just donate. Links in the description. I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. Keep the YouTube algorithms engaged and activated. So my videos can reach as many people as possible. We got more gunners way for Ozilligath though. Standard stuff. We got the Scout on the way for JibberJabberJobber. Definitely not your usual show builds. Most show builds at the moment involve with triple conscripts and then double engineers, or quadruple conscripts and then later on double engineers. But here it's actually double engineers into penal troopers with the Scout car. Very rare currently, very rare. That's JibberJabber for you. Always a bit of those rarer tactics and strategies. Gunnies on the way there for Ozilligath. Sandbags in the south, put the victory point there. So far, steady approach. Steady approach. There we go, M31 out there. American Lend-Lease equipment supplied to the Soviets, were primarily used in their forward advanced battalions, what do you call them? The Rota sort of Rasvedki groups, sort of scout groups. That the job more like to, like, say, exploit openings in the German lines and just hold them open for the rest of the main army to push through with, I believe. 3rd Gunnery Squad there for Ozilligath. Penal troops inside the M3A1. Rushing forwards there could definitely catch the machine gun off guard to some heavy damage. That's exactly what Jibber does here, punishing his Ozilligath leaves machine that's unguarded. Of course, he likely wasn't expecting this because, well, what sort of players do this? I mean, no one except Jibber, clearly. Then getting off a Panzerfaust there does put a stop there to the scout car rush, but at the same time the machine has been pushed back. Penals was quickly popping up, forcing the Grenadiers to retreat since they're on their own, with no immediate support, and of course, no heavy machine gun team. So JibberJabber is off here to a nice receptive start. Conscript flying up there. No heavy penal tool builds. No sign of a doctrine either. No sign of a doctrine. Gunny's pushing forward. Engineers on the flank here as well. Scout car there opening up the Grenadiers as well, getting a kill there with this 50 cal. Machine gun moving forwards here. Gun parties turning up towards the centre. Grenadiers squad number 3 backing up as well here. Big gut take over there for Ozilligath. As for JibberJabber, we'll have to see what he goes for next. Grenadiers being overwhelmed. We got flamethrowers there for JibberJabber. Very good for him. Obviously less good for Ozilligath. No sign of anything else from the base for now. Pioneers with the scout car doing a bit of light damage up close here. And of course already fixed up with the Indian damage. More comfort there for JibberJabber. We'll have to see what Ozilligath does beyond that. I mean, probably some Panzer Grenadier or a Jaeger Command Squad. Maybe some T-33s, but probably not. And, oh, we are getting ambush camouflage at least there. Thumbs up to Ozilligath. My other hand is currently preoccupied, though, hitting Basil on my lap, so I can only give one thumbs up. Basil is looking fairly pleased with himself about it, so I think it's worth the sacrifice. Conscript falling back here, sandbags up there for Jibber. Like to make a nice coming up for Ozilligath. Pioneers hard at work there. Up north, pumping these for the Grenadiers. Scout car being fixed up there for JibberJabber. And we got airborne troops featuring the S-5040s or airdrop weapons. I mean, theoretically, you can also equip the penal troopers with submachine guns. It's just most players don't do that. Hey, machine gun there, plus of course airborne rally points, Scouts, airborne troops, and the Sturmovik rocket run. Scout coming north of here for JibberJabber. Scout front for the Ozilligath going to use the hard to counter this Scout. Kind of put pressure on JibberJabber's forces. When he's holding up an ambush machine gun, he's still home to. It might be doing this in part because he's also concerned about the possibility of a snow, in which case an ambush machine gun is a fairly interesting counter to it. For which Basil agrees. Armoured car on the way there for Ozilligath. Almost done. There you go. First airdrop of them there for JibberJabber. Note, we're aggressive airdrop here. Right at the front line because Lambs will quickly equip the conscripts. I wonder will we actually see the penals being equipped with submachine guns, since they're technically shock trooper grade submachine guns. They can actually pack quite a punch. Of course, probably not. But it would be interesting, particularly then to pop them in the scout cuts. That's some serious motorized firepower. There you go. I'm trying to do some north comes there. Not grabbing the weapon there. He's been blasted into bits. Push back. Got the S-5040s ready there. Console digging in the centre. Bunker up there for Ozilligath. Medics being upgraded. Guess we'll be seeing anti-tank rifles for JibberJabber. Field infantry up there for JibberJabber. No upgrades yet. The South Yamato going to defend the fuel point against JibberJabber's engineers, doing some sneaky harassment up north, Scout coming forwards. Engaging the gun, you see machine remains. Oh, it's finally getting a bit more mobile here. Confident forces backing up the scout car there. Supporting Jibber's northern advance here. So far, Jibber's got quick map control versus Ozilligath. Armor coming forward, machine in this slightly position here versus Jibber. Go straight for the controls there. Blasting with his autocannon traction machine gun. Bit of damage there. And he's following up. Yeah, command squad is now available and he goes straight for that. 5-man squad there with 3D for 3s. Very good there, very good. They took it just for 300 manpower. Of course, this balance out effect can only get one of them. Otherwise, they'd obviously be a bit too good at that cost. Counter ground points up north here. Then he's been pursued by the engineers. Scout car there receiving some light repairs. Obviously, follow up with Ozilligath here. There we go. Anti-tank from the penal troops. Just like the scout cars, use them to down the armored car. Assuming they're being flanked about the conscripts, taking heavy fire from the conscripts and the Grenadiers, or the ND-42, the armored car and the Grenadiers, and being round here under punishing and withering fire there from Ozilligath's forces. Scout car moving about up north. We got the pumping seats for the command squad. Units engaging the Grenadiers here around the centre. Back in Jibber's base. Otherwise, all quiet. You could say taking up and rushing out an anti-aircraft outfit here with Ozilligath right now. That could be potentially very potent and possibly game finishing. Machine there getting flanked with the scout car with the penal troops again in it, making it harder for the armoured car to protect the flank of the machine gun, forcing Ozilligath here to disengage and pull back. Got the Pack 40 in the way there, plus we got a dish hand machine on the way there for JibberJabberJobber and the Red Army. Gonna grab the northern point here. We got 404 versus 473. Jibber's got a nice little lead here over Ozilligath in terms of victory points, using the southern field point. Make good use of his hard mobility right now versus Ozilligath to control the field. And Ozilligath, of course, struggling here to contain it because, again, the scout car, which is leading the mobility, is hard to counter for his armored car due to the penal trooper with anti-tank rifles in it. So it's a bit of a sticky situation here for Ozilligath at the moment, pushing northwards there, hoping to turn the table on Jibber that way. Not a bad idea. We've got conscripts all there counter-attacking. And the Grenadiers are spread out, so they can't form up a cohesive line of defense here against JibberJabber. In the south, the scouts quickly engaging, armored car moving in. Got the Pack 40 ready here. Tank on the JibberJabber. But they're going to go for the T-70. And he could try and rush out the anti-aircraft tower flank, but I think Jibber's more likely to go for the T-70 here. Scout car falling a bit back here. Armored car gets some light damage in the south peak. Engineers suppressed. Pushed off the fuel point, but so is Ozilligath by the northern fuel point. There we go. T-70 light tank here for JibberJabber. Very much a solid choice there. No upgrades yet here for Ozilligath's forces. Perhaps he's planning mines and some other munitions expenditure. I mean, a telemine, for example, could be very helpful versus JibberJabber's Crown Dragon. And could derail the T-70 with a telemine. That'd be a huge win here for Ozilligath. In the early game, massive, and could possibly allow the game to be swung very aggressive in his favour. Northeast sandbags from the northern point here. Ozilligath's forces disengaging as they realise they're a bit strung out. They could easily be overwhelmed and pushed away, well, murdered on retreat even. Back in Ozilligath's space, nothing further going on. Could consider a mortar perhaps. Panther gonna be there. Or he could also try and take up and then say rush out some light armor, or not light armor, but some armor here versus JibberJabber. Got the T-70 light tank out there for the Red Army. Pumas was there taking a loss. Not entirely sure what they took the loss from. No telemines there actually. Feel like this one is perhaps a bit too defensive, but oh well. What happened there? I don't know what happened. He just blew up. Blew up. Yes. I don't know how. No, Panzer faulty satchel charge. Was it the armor counter, dude? I guess it has to be. Just. Oh well. 270-40. 40 is ready to deal with that. Breaking going to the base here. Don't think you're expecting that. I mean, it's a very aggressive move by Jibber. There you go, your command watching forward. Could use sprint here to maybe try and catch it off guard, but Ozilligath forgot that ability exists. He's just pressured him, needing to retreating. Jibber there quickly to shift momentum here against Ozilligath, further pushing Ozilligath back on the defensive. Very good play there by Jibber. Take that down for Ozilligath. Going to try and push up some armor here versus JibberJabber. Can totally understand that. Maybe Stuben Osprey Rush here could work out versus Jibber. MD43 they're being overwhelmed. Pack 40 the Elsping Swamp. Oh! T-70 about rushing to the Tellermine. The Tellermine does go off from the T-70 do great deal damage to JibberJabber, giving Ozilligath, I think, a really good chance perhaps to turn this around, but he would benefit, I think, from some Panzer as well. Still, good kill there. Good kill there for Ozilligath. Highlights the value of a good Tellermine against the Soviets. But there you go. Anti-tanks are charged off in the scout car there. Oh, Piney's running towards it. Costing here Ozilligath the armoured car, but in the end, I would argue he still came ahead here on this engagement versus JibberJabber. He just needs to get some map control back up north here. Get command got back up, but then these making the push in the north here. Though JibberJabber's got plenty of sandbags down, or he dug in, which does make it harder for the Wehrmacht to push forwards, particularly without Panzer Grenadiers. T-702 for JibberJabber. That's definitely a bold maneuver here, particularly considering the timing. So that indicates he is hoping to perhaps throw Ozilligath off guard again with a second T-70 here. Ozilligath then to rush out some armour. And we could lay down more Tellermines. That would obviously be good, but he doesn't have the munitions for it currently. Country being cleared out there, comes from support here. Country getting some further losses there. T-70 number 2 halfway done. Ozilligath advances. We do get some Panzer Grenadier, which is very good there. Thumbs up to that. I would still like to see a support cut fast, so he could at least rush out, say, Stuben Osman in front of the T-70, because whatever. Actually, an Osman would probably be the best choice, since it could still work nice versus the T-70. But then further, I think, push an advantage here versus JibberJabber, who then be very exposed to that T-70, since he only then has anti-tank rifles to stop an Osman with. Which isn't typically one of your best Osman counters, unless your opponent is very unlucky or not doing well. Bassel back for some attention, he ran off. Now he wants more back for attention again, the silly cat. Again, with the penal troopers. Disco in the south is going to be same machine flying weather, do ambush tactics. Double discus here plus the T-70. Might throw Ozilligath here for a loop, because again, most players at this timing won't go for that. But again, you know, Jibber does. Jibber clearly goes his own ways, believes in his own metagame. Panzer's pushing off to the console. The console on health. There goes the routed. Support cut there. We'll have to see where the Ozilligath goes from. The Panzer IV would be the safe choice, but when your opponent's gone for double T-70, like I feel like an Osman used to be a great way of punishing that. Support cut there for JibberJabber. Of course, he's realizing he might be a bit out in the woods there, without a compass, on his breadcrumbs. Flip from the Pack 4 and the T-70. We'll see what he goes from. Panzer IV would be the sensible choice here, or you know, the safe choice. But again, I feel like it must be a much more aggressive choice that could really, I think, punish JibberJabber for going double T-70s. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, both are viable options. But as the Wehrmacht, I feel like a lot of the time it's about realizing what's going on and just trying to push any advantage you can very hard versus the opponent. But we shall see. Scout car there, still up the road from here for JibberJabber. Really good unit preservation there. Really good aggressive play there. Bassel very sad, by the way, for those listening to his lamenting in the background that he wasn't able to chew my hand off. He gets like that at times. Oh, woe is me. How cruel this tyrant is for not allowing me to gnaw his hand off. Oh, woe. Curse this petty-fooled arch-tyrant. May he burn in the fires of hell. You know, that sort of thing. He gets very eloquent as well, you know, once he has to get really, you know, sad. Got being fixed up. Grab northern point with the command squad. Field gun on the way there. So yeah, Panther for Ozilligath. Again, feel like an Osman here would have been a great choice versus JibberJabber. Again, great versus the infantry, great versus the light vehicle, to just put pressure on JibberJabber faster. Plus, can then allow you to pull up with more stuff afterwards. But again, minor point in the Panther, of course, is still solid. Sometimes you don't need solid, you need a very large Ostwind to ram right through your opponent's front door. Got the scout car there, another vehicular death down there. Very good. Up north, Precision Rushing Forge, Panther 4 plus more Grenadiers here for Ozilligath to replace the lost Grenadier squad at some point. I mean, I think another Panther squad might actually be better there, but again, I do like Panzer Grenadiers. That's because, honestly, I find the Grenadier uniform here actually terrible to look at. I really hate it. Like, I don't know why they can't just, like, you know, pick a scheme for the Grenadiers that works. Like, I was thinking the one in Companies 1 was actually better than this. It is horrid. And the films have got the northern point here, grounds on the point of the Grenadiers.
We are losing a sector. We have a new Panther.
So there you go, Panther 4 out there, still on the take for JibberJabber. So if Ozilligath places the cards correctly with the Panther 4, you can force a lot of pressure on JibberJabber, push it back, and possibly win the match. That said, JibberJabber has a nice victory on lead, so the difficulty for Ozilligath to do as well. Got D for the Fuse on the Fresh Grenadier squad. Interesting choice. Ticketing went for light machine to the first one, but still D for the Fuse are nice. Can be used to support the tanks more actively on the move. So they definitely, you know, shows a not quite Panther Grenadier level, obviously, but still, you know, make up for the fact he didn't go for another Panther in his squad there, I think. North here, Pack 4 training from the T7 going to Northern Point. Just they're being routed. Engineers push back as well there. Panther 4 not getting up in the machine. He's got short munitions for that. Field gun there opening up. Missing. I feel like Ozilligath really would benefit a lot from a mortar with some increasing number of support from JibberJabber. I know therefore would be an excellent choice really if Ozilligath to consider versus JibberJabber. Of course, JibberJabber would similarly not, I think, hurt from a mortar, but there you go, disc cleared out, destroying it. He could, of course, try to make a run for it, but I think he's realizing he can't get away with it, so he's probably going to try and destroy it. That said, we have a charging in there, back up the field gun to probably deny the destruction of the machine gun there by Ozilligath. Nice and aggressive move there by JibberJabber. T7 in there. Nerdy switching over to reconnaissance mode. There's a spot for the field gun. Very good play there by Jibber. Thumbs up to that one. Grenadiers ground the point. Oh, Jaeger commands would actually ground the point in the centre. Pack 40 Grenadiers moving northwards there. Back in Ozilligath's space. Nothing further going on there as of yet. He's short the fuel for any arbor yet, so not quite there. We got the mechanized armor company out for JibberJabberJobber and the Red Army. And Jaeger command ground in the centre. Ground the northern points. Grenadiers moving forward. Panthers backing up. Nice attempt using the smoke stream, but in the end, not enough here versus JibberJabber and the 10th Guards Tank Corps. Machine flying away there. Not within range of the field gun, I would have suggested popping in cinema piercing rounds because they're quite great at clearing up field gun teams and anti-tank gun teams in general, though obviously with a field gun bombarding, you generally want to make sure they haven't, you know, blasted. You do want to make sure they actually blast the barrage so they don't begin shooting the machine gun, always risking that cleared out. Units being suppressed here though. Ozilligath could go for the Stuhl kit, help deal with the T7 plus any armor here that JibberJabber might go for. Austin would good with the infantry and support weapons, so still good with the T70. I would recommend the Ostwind, but the Stuhl wouldn't be a half-back choice either, I think. Good hit on the penal troopers there. Back here, nothing going on in JibberJabber's base. Penal troopers being shot to bits. Six field near command squad. Hasn't actually done that much. You'd figure he would have done more at this point with it. Direct hit on the field, on the Panther 4 by the field gun. T-34 from 6 for JibberJabber. Ozilligath's base remains quiet in terms of like armor activity. Ooh, mortar. We do get the mortar here for Ozilligath. Very nice, very nice. Could have had that out soon, obviously, but at least he's going for it. At least he's going for it. Again, it's worth noting the meta has seen increased number of mortars, I think, in general, which is nice as well. I think they do tend to get over at times. Counter is fun going for the Emperor's camouflage. Very good. I mean, technically, they already have it there with the SS pattern camouflage they're wearing there, by the way. Though, technically, like, you know, regular army troops could also get their hands on it, but, you know, that was, like, you know, much rarer. Also, it's not uncommon for German colonies to have to basically, you know, so say, make up their own camouflage uniforms, or basically just grabbing some self-ban, you know, basically sort of, tent stuff, which is had a camouflage pattern then sewn into then sort of, shall I say, a parka jacket or whatever, like, camouflage there. Fun fact. Anyways, T for the first set out there for JibberJabber, console routed. 140, merge the conscripts, very nice wholesale mission there by JibberJabber. Ozilligath could go for a Panzer IV soon, probably wants to do that, or get a Stug. Pack 40 may want to turn around here. The well-timed target weak point here could probably have to do with the T-34. T's almost flanking it. Ramming. Speed. Oh. That did not pan out beautifully there for JibberJabber, though it did turn out very nicely for Ozilligath. T-34 knocked out there without much resistance. Mortar firing down as well on JibberJabber, very good. Pack 40 getting bad in the south here. Jaeger commands got them forwards. Ground points there, very good. Very good, unless you're JibberJabber, in which case it's kind of sick couple yards. Light Infantry Geschütz. Barrage there called in. A minor stomp there from Ozilligath. Package reinforcing. We shall see what JibberJabber responds to this armoured loss. Will he go for more T-54s from 6s? Will he handle them more carefully? What will he do? Ozilligath still very close to the Panther 4's not quite getting there. We've got Rocket Strike against the Panther 4 here. Close one, but not close enough here. Ends up being a wasted 125 munitions here. Excellent for Ozilligath, obviously a bit of a pain there for Jibber. Still, cutting off the fuel on the south, great, but the command's got flanking in. They need to launch the attack now. Interesting, also worth noting, we haven't actually seen Ozilligath use the sprint ability, which is actually really good. In particular on, you know, troops with like assault rifles. Sprint is amazing. Ozilligath still not going for a tank here. In an Ostwind, I definitely think you should prioritise that now. More than anything else. Aircraft shot down there in Jibber's base of that. Impressive there for the Payload Machine and the Panther 4. Okay, Ozilligath can go for the Panther 4 now. Ground points in the south here. There we go. Second Panzer campaign for Ozilligath and the first Panzer is shown. Finish with the conscripts. Keystone being fixed up. Mine goes off in the south here. Lots of mines from JibberJabber. Very good mining, obviously. Very good. Mines win wars. Or at least win decisive engagements. Then again, that team's going down to the Termine, for example. The first one was pretty big there for Ozilligath, for example. Jaeger command's been dispersed to the Dishka. Panther 4 almost down there for Ozilligath. Up north here we got the Panther 4 squad. Shot fire, missed. That's the routing name. You got a bang going over in the Dishka here. Geballte Ladung and kaboom. Half the squad gone in the blink of an eye. Closing in on the ace level. Could go up there if you were to push in against sprint in there. But seems like Ozilligath again is not a big believer in running. But he's sprinting. But mama, running makes me sweat. Anyways, T-34 looks number 2 on the way there for JibberJabber. Conscripts, machine gun, dish coming up. They, of course, want to keep the dish out of the hands of Ozilligath. We're going to be destroyed. Very sensible up there. Finish game with the point. Still significant victory point needed for JibberJabber, Ozilligath, and the Germans. Engaging the dish cap. A field gun running in, that's not. Probably got mines further in the centre of JibberJabber. Infantry north, very good there. Oh, nice on the field, correctly wide. But I would actually make a pretty good possible push it to deliver a crushing blow here to JibberJabber. Keeps the infantry moving in there. Panther forward, need to get aggressive here. Need to get close, but Ozilligath here disengages. He does not make the sort of, you know, hard push, I would say, or strike there to JibberJabber's abdomen. That could knock the wind out of him and possibly, you know, won the war right then and there. So, unfortunately, I can understand why, but, you know, I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Either way, another T-35 plus another field gun for JibberJabber. Disengaging on these, field gun firing away. They also gotta say, I mean, the way, you know, the map just has changed. Angle is really messing with my mind because, again, I know, you know, it's just the map, but again, shift to another angle. But again, the fact that now being forced to be from another angle is really uncomfortable for me.
Forces are capturing our supplies.
Really uncomfortable for me on some level. I don't know why they did it. That's the weird thing. Like, I guess to maybe like, you know, cheat people into thinking, oh, this is a new map. You know, it's not, you know, that map, which we didn't really like because, you know, the elevation was basically, you know, made, I don't know, not by the Dutch. Anyways. Keep moving forward, see? Possibly the Norwegians or the Swedes. Ooh. Anyways. Wait, what? Tier 4? Ugh. That's just as bad. I think honestly Ozilligath should just be pushing for more armor. Like in an Osman right now would be great here versus JibberJabber, Stug, even another Panther. I think tier 4 he just, I mean, I think in 90% of the cases tier 4 is generally always a mistake unless you're winning really well. And I don't not describe Ozilligath as winning really well. In those situations, I mean, you're just still better off going for more stuff from tier 4. So I'm not really a big fan of Ozilligath going for that here because, you know, while he's taking knocked out most of the map, JibberJabber still has the lead. JibberJabber, of course, has proven himself to be a wily, somewhat unpredictable opponent. I mean, he's not, you know, utterly random, but, you know, he is not a usual meta slave, which makes him very dangerous in some ways and should not be underestimated. Phantom 40 being hammered here by the discounted machine gun. Crafting it off here, not the best hit there. Flanking the T-54, which is a nice hit. T-50 getting the pioneers here. We got ace on that one already, 19 kills. Impressive work with that one. Panther moving forward. Very close to 52, and there we go. Schützen added. Schützen by way added to deal with anti-tank rifles and other, you know, say light anti-tank weapons. Help protecting the shots set through the side of the Panther 4s, Stugs and other tanks that receive it. In fact, they would even like apply side armor to some captured tanks, like for example, captured T-34s from the 6s would actually receive side armor by the Germans, amongst other modifications. Fun fact. Comes up north is the Pumas with the T-70, need to fix up the Panther 4 here. Just being held in the machine gun team. Getting down already. Very good. And quickly some kills. Could have popped this thing out this rounds. Ooh, that's going to have to retreat there. Never mind. He might like to lose it here before it gets swiped. He gets very lucky here. Nope, gets swiped then, but it is very important here for Ozilligath. More firing down there. Not quite landing the hit here. He is at least barraging. Good kill there. Panther 4 good to go. Other Panther 4 don't need repairs. I believe he's moving in. Oh, destroyed the field gun. The field gun there. More firing down on top of the Disca. 5 kills on the gun out in there for said good for Ozilligath. Put up on there for Jibber. Jibber those ordering to bring up more T-34s from the 6s. Obviously, once you get one going, it's not that difficult getting up more. So, no heavy Panzer core yet, and just no other stuff out of the Suprema core here from Ozilligath. Directing into the double field guns, taking heavy damage. You might actually want to, on this map, actually use some of the flares from the Jaeger commands, but take like scout ahead, just so you know, figure out with the field guns how to make, I think, more educated movements with his tanks, but also for some coordinate with the smoke here from the mortars. So, for example, you go, if you say, you know, Jibber's got the field guns lined up, he could say, flare ahead, spot them, then smoke them, then put you on the tanks and the infantry and overwhelm the position. That could actually, I think, lead to a game-winning spot there for Ozilligath. Of course, Jibber could simply go for a mortar of his own, which can fire flares, by the way, and you know, sort of do that on his own.
Supply sector under attack.
So there are some considerations there for both sides. Country south for step, we've got the Panther Ridge response on that. Socialist incursion with shot and, well, larger shot. No pikes involved. Panzers there routed, Panther being fixed up north. Worth noting the Soviets would very late war 1945 actually apply their own, shall we say, armoured side scope to the T-54s, though more wire mesh. Bits into the late war Panther 4 models as well there. Supposedly, though, they were not made from, you know, bed frames, you know, wide bed frames that were apparently were like production, mate. Though again, they very much look like they're just, you know, bed frames that just applied there, or bed spring mattress there. So, you know, it's applied to the side of the tanks. A little fun fact there. They were meant to help you with Panther Class. Panther getting actually 3 bunker here, but they've got a few more bunker position in turn. JibberJabber's using his armor very efficiently, combining together for more firepower, whereas Ozilligath is splitting up his armor up north, but T-70 catching the T-70 almost guarded. Almost guarded, but it's quickly backing off here, missing an opportunity to finish it off here. Clearly struggling to handle all these things. Panther with main gun lost. Doesn't finish off the T-70. Oh boy. So Jibber here maintains initiative. Very good play there with Jibber, obviously. Thumbs up. Ozilligath still not going from armor. He's not doing anything with the heavy panzer core. He's just sort of stalled out, which is great for JibberJabber. Like, if your opponent's stalling out, not knowing what they're doing, to do what you need to start going for more tanks when they can, that's great for you as an opponent. In a lot of cases, as long as you know what to do in meanwhile, which Jibber seems to be doing. Things about to get wiped out. Stuck around for too long, and down they go. Light machine dropped as well. They're stinging slack across the face of Ozilligath and the Germans. And the South Panzer going to do it. Gunny's going for the disc machine gun. Mortifying away there. 9 kills. Panther force hanging out. More or less fixed up here. Still nothing going there for Ozilligath. No more additional tanks. Nothing. Not an Osprey. Not a Stu. Stu would actually be fairly good for the T-54 trying to back up the Panther force. Osprey good was the infantry support weapons. And, you know, Panther would just be good. But, you know, he needs to go for something here. Like, it's one thing to go for T4s and to just do nothing and not even go for medium armor. So we also see the other side of just going for T4 because you then create the expectation for you have to use it then and, you know, not go for your T3 stuff. At which point you just end up in this weird decision paralysis where, like, you know, technically the other decision's, you know, valid. It just doesn't want to go for the cross. But I suppose it's more like a lost cost fallacy, you know. A sunk cost fallacy, you know. He's invested into it, I want to go for it, but again, he's just forgetting about it. He just refused himself to go for anything from the tier 3 when he really just should. Just like accept tier 4, well, it's not good. Like, no matter how much Relic insists, it's not good. Like, it's just a waste of resources 90% of the time. Even like the Sturmpanzer, which is nice, I mean, I'll admit that, but the problem is you still got the Panzer from the Panther, which are pretty much just straight up rubbish, and the problem is, like, even the Sturmpanzers, like, you know, well, you could just go for 2 Ostwinds. I mean, that would probably do the trick just as well. They go for a bunch of mortars or anything else like this. And they're just not cost-efficient options, is really the issue with the heavy Panzer Corps. And it's not like, even the benefits they provide you, again, had to remove one of them, like, you know, reducing the reinforcement cost by a slight bit isn't, like, even that great an advantage either, since it doesn't even apply to the Panzer going to be for some inexplicable reason. Pack 40 getting the ace, they've almost got the T-34. Nice kill there for Ozilligath, but, you know, really should just be pushing for more medium armor. Then bombarding, Ralph up against Kinship up north. The command's got joining in the fun here. So the guys still means very much in the defense. Like, again, the T-34 or the field guns, you know, isolated. The T-34's been pushed back. Instead, it's not even pushing here when easily I think could. In the south, it's going to use with the T-34 6. So while he's definitely given, I think, JibberJabber's a, you know, very nice bloody nose. He's not really following up on it, but, you know, a nice lead to the groin, for example. You know, the classic German technique. Well, it's a classic to beat in most armies, isn't it? Anyways. But right now, again, it's still, you know, delivering that knee to the groin, or that fist to the stomach, or that elbow to, I don't know, the nose again. I'm not much of a fighter myself anyways, directly, but, you know, you get the idea, you know, just keep hitting. Instead, you know, he just, you know, lets JibberJabber walk away, you know, catch his breath, which is typically not how I want to do it. Keep it possible and getting the Panzergrenadiers. Panther unit repairs. Went for the Sturmpanzer again. Nice versus the field guns, but like, here's the thing: you just smoke them, rush them with Panzer guns and other infantry, clear the line, and you just did the job as well with something that's not, like, you know, really expensive. We can just go for more medium armor like Panther 4s or Stu's or Ostwinds. Much more cost efficient too. And again, much less of a massive target. Rolled, let it slow. Just go there, route it. smoking down from the command squad. Hit the command with the Sturmpanzer. Going to hit a second mine. Oh, and then it's dark down. Yeah, that's Ozilligath's tier 4 investment after all that time. So the fight called in the field guns. Penfold getting knocked out as well. Just not careful. Didn't even get the field guns. Infantry not following up. Heck boy turning around here. Turning into a bit of a mess here for Ozilligath. Bit of a mess, I think, to put it generously.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
But obviously that assault should have been preceded by at least some infantry, at least check for mines, I think. So that was a mistake with Ozilligath. Bit of a mistake. We'll have to see if it goes for now, but you know, I just recommend giving up on that and just Stooks. Maybe an Oswind. Possibly also consider second mortar just to help deal with the field guns. And the Ozilligath I definitely think should begin picking up on some mortar smoke. It's such an underrated ability. Such an underrated ability. It can really just do a lot to just frustrate your opponent, just give you just a few extra seconds, like maybe push in with the assault for example as well. Hunting through the south here. Bomb grenade from the Ace Panzer Grenadier, 15 kills in the name. Not quite nuts, of course, yeah, but they could get there, Panzer in with the cut from north. Jaeger come after them, blast away there, double field gun spotted. Panther moving forward, so they cut in front of the field guns. No additional medium armor yet here for Ozilligath. He's planning another Sturmpanzer, he's actually thinking a Panther might work. He's going for another Sturmpanzer, meanwhile another T-54 JibberJabber. Second Panther 4, they just gained Vector 2, gets its own Schutzen. North here we got the Grenadiers versus the conscripts there, the Frontovics. For the 3 Grenadiers still alive, lost a light machine gun team that was at some point, he's going to replace that by the way. Got it from the Pack 4 on the flank there, the T-34 from 6. Sturmpanzer almost done there for Ozilligath.
Close air support is available.
Coming and then getting rammed here by JibberJabber. Absolutely no issue throwing away his tanks to take out an Ace Panther 4. He knows what's worth more. And there you go, without Ozilligath lost his Ace Panther 4, underestimating JibberJabber's, you know, absolute aggression and his tenacity for kneeing his opponent in the groin, no matter the cost. I mean, that was very much a classic knee to the groin maneuver. Pack 4 being pushed back here. This goes to the Panther Grenadiers up north. 2 guns being hammered by the T-34s from 6. Second Sturmpanzer up, but again, nice done. Just one Panther 4. There's an opponent with a lot of T-34s with the field guns. They get a lot more dice with the Sturmpanzer, which is not great versus the tanks. And even with the field guns, you might notice, you know, it's going to strike with Ace field guns, which can easily punch through its armor anyways. Panther 4 being hammered by the T-34s. Starting to look increasingly rough here for Ozilligath. Shot bounce off the T-54's armor, that's lucky there for JibberJabber. Bit rubbish luck there for Ozilligath. Pack being hammered here. Mortar in trouble. Sturmpanzer in trouble. German army in the sector, in trouble. Sturmpanzer shooting fails to do any damage. Significant mortar cleared out. Oh no, it's not. Just the crew that got brought out. There you go. But to lose the mortar, though, it's going to really hurt him. Pack got cleared out there. Lost him the Ace crew. Could be a strategy between the mortar, with the pack, lost the punish for the process. Really punishing hit here, but JibberJabber just constantly wailing away at Ozilligath like a berserker. He just lost his favourite stuffed teddy bear. Mr. Snuggles, no! Anyways, the command squad, there's the field gun pushing them back there. Mortar firing down, doing damage. Almost got one of the field guns to the H1 there. Got it. Very nice here for Ozilligath. He's still got a bit of way to go here versus Jibber, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. T-34 firing right there. Pack 40 getting ready here for Ozilligath. Good hit from the T-34s from 6. We got 157 versus 283. Sturmpanzer moving forwards. Panzers being suppressed. Sturmpanzer being taken out. Pack moving forwards. That would likely be the same Sturmpanzer got knocked out then this rate without doing anything. So there you go. Second Sturmpanzer. That's how much is that there again? 840 and 300 manpower, 300 fuel to really do very little. Again, they can be good in the right circumstances, but clearly this is not the right circumstance. Like, you know, it's a specialist, it's a bit too specialized for its own good. And currently, Ozilligath needs more generalists to have a chance in this mess, or at least Stoogs, which kind of work as generalists. Better than this, you know, Sturmpanzer anyways, and, you know, we can probably deal with infantry better than the Sturmpanzer can deal with armor. Plus, it's just cheaper, more mobile, and it's less of a painful loss if you lose it. I mean, for that many number of Sturmpanzers, he could probably have gotten like 3 Stoogs easily. Probably dealt with those T-54s more easily as well. He would also probably been less likely to throw away the Stoogs compared to the Sturmpanzers anyways. Down here for the penal troopers, rounding them. 30th almost done for JibberJabber. Ozilligath's position is really exposed right now. Really rough. We've got 118 with 280 feet. Counter shoots in the midst of the T-54s from 6. Marching to the south here. Jamming the point up north of the Jaeger command squad. Panzer being snapped. They got double pack following up. The one hits the other miss. Oh, that's his field gun. That's not half bad. 98 versus 183. Panzer is a route in the south. They can bring up the southern victory point. So what will Ozilligath go for now? Stug, another Panther 4, another Sturmpanzer. Will he attempt a Panther? T-54 push back the Grenadiers. Reinforcement hitting back in the base of Ozilligath. Getting up the centre. Mortar firing away. Full kills already, very nice. Flipping bombarding, also very nice. And let's go for JibberJabber now. Intrusion for JibberJabber. I think it's Ozilligath versus Ozilligath. Very good. Double hits there already. Rough for Ozilligath there, but his only tank needs to already have health, and of course the opponent has several tanks plus rockets inbound. Ozilligath obviously doesn't know about the Katyusha, but you know, at this rate it probably wouldn't be a half bad thing to assume it's coming his way. Almost got the counter there, actually firing down here. Might get up the counter, there we go. Got the T-72, that's pretty good. Obviously there's still the Macho 3 T-34s and 6s and everything else. Jibber's all time running, so there's some potential here, though it's gotta be fairly close, and like T-34s are still a major issue with just one Panther 4 to hold them back. Since the T-34s can lay down some very big firepower fast, until the more veteran ones as they gain a higher rate of fire. Shot bounce, that's very lucky there for JibberJabber. That shoots and gets penetrating shot through. Katyusha firing away, he hopes to silence the anti-tank guns. Very good move there by Jibber, obviously. Does force them away at the very least. You got 98 to 264. Going to see a command post appearance from the south, and Ozilligath finally. Having finally awakened from his childhood naivety and realised again Tier 4 sucks. Panther 1 moving around the field guns here, going to get blasted. T-4 rushing through north, going to try and perhaps outmaneuver Ozilligath up north here. Shot bounce from the T-34, very lucky there for Ozilligath. Field gun shoots, bounces through the Panther 4. Another shot fired there, missed. South, we got the conscripts of the command spot, roughing off to try and deal with the conscripts, and Jibber dodges it quite nicely. Thumbs up there.
The sector is at risk.
Panzer was moving 40 straight into the T-34 from 6. And there you go, fresh Panzer for the Ozilligath and the German army. Got 86 versus 162. Panzer falling northwards. The quality for Jibber. Ozilligath needs to get a bit more aggressive. Obviously, again, he has to be careful. At the same time, you know, he probably has to, like, you know, just be a bit more aggressive than is perhaps necessary. Because, again, like, he needs to put pressure on JibberJabber. Like, as the Vam, you cannot allow your opponents, like, drag the fight out. Like, 4-man squad, all that stuff just really doesn't help. And again, the fact that Tier 4 doesn't work either further just, you know, hammers home the ideal that you just need to be aggressive. Because, again, that's really what's the problem. Of course, good for being aggressive, putting up pressure, and Heavy Pants, of course, just not good at being aggressive, not good at being defensive. It's just not good at anything. Like, it's just not good. It's a waste of resources and, more important, a waste of time. Panzer of the Penal Troopers. Another T-51 over Jibber. That's going to put up with 4 T-54. It's going to be quite a chance for the Ozilligath to deal with. Panzer being suppressed with the Dishka.
Ready for combat.
There you go. That's going to be a lot of firepower from JibberJabber versus Ozilligath's 2 Panther Horse and 1 field gun. And also Pack 40 here. Film running the Penals, we'll take them out. Oh, going to be caught up with the rocket launcher. And wipe the stinging blow there to Ozilligath. Panther 40, he's going to ram it, going to rocket strike it. Got it, but good chance he's not Ace Panther fall. Perhaps not, perhaps not. No, knocked out. Other Panther can all the T-34s. Simply too much firepower now. The Ozilligath down using the field gun versus numerous T-34s from 6s. And just swarm his position here. At which point, Ozilligath is just toast. He's got no students, he's got nothing else to deal with them. No termites, nothing. So in the end, Jibber, I think, has got this one. Ozilligath has got a few infantry squads left, and none of them can stop 3 T-34s and 6s. Nice then, the 2 infantry squads and 2 pioneers. Jibber's T-34s rushing ahead here. Hunter's being murdered. Seems like Ozilligath is kind of given up here. Pioneers being executed inside the base alongside the medics at this rate. Classic Soviets. Pioneers getting annihilated. T-34s are getting ace level. And this, I mean, Ozilligath has lost. There's no way he recovers from this. T-34s just crushing all the infantry up to the base, and there you go with that. Ozilligath finally gets the message. Game over. GG. I mean, then, you know, a bit of a back and forth theme. In the end, though, I think Ozilligath's major issues was just A, Tier 4, but also I think more crucial there was, again, there's all these moments when it could have pushed him to more damage to Jibber, but for some reason, again, he just never went through. You know, again, when the time came to, you know, get that knee into JibberJabber's groin, and, you know, get him bending over in pain, he just never did it. Meanwhile, JibberJabber did it all the time, and he would see an opportunity, he just went for it, you know, hit him very hard in all the tender bits. And that's really just what Ozilligath lacked, and particularly it's very important as that, because again the Wehrmacht really needs to like hit above its weight class a lot of the time, because it cannot sustain protected engagement, which is also really why the whole idea of the Wehrmacht being a defensive faction is complete utter nonsense. It cannot survive protected engagements, yet defensive play requires exactly that. And again, the fact that Tier 4 is rubbish doesn't help that any further. So yeah, good match here, but again, JibberJabber pulled through just on being more aggressive, whereas Ozilligath was too passive, and again, really shouldn't have bothered with Tier 4. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, nothing from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, thank you for watching, till tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.